You do not need to work harder to be good with money. That is the lie that keeps people broke and exhausted at the same time. The people who always seem to have money are not budgeting every latte or tracking every receipt. They are lazy about it on purpose. They set up a few quiet rules once, then let those rules carry the weight for years while they relax. That calm you imagine wealthy people feel is real, and it runs on autopilot. Here are the 20 minimalist money rules that do the work for you. Number 1, pay yourself first and make it automatic. Most people try to save whatever is left at the end of the month, and almost every time the answer is nothing, because life expands to eat every dollar sitting in checking. So flip the order. The day your paycheck lands, an automatic transfer should pull money straight into savings before you can see it, spend it, or feel it leave. Log into your bank on your phone, set up a recurring transfer for the morning after payday, and pick an amount that stings just a little. Even $50 a paycheck becomes over $1,000 a year without a single decision. The genius here is that you remove yourself from the process. You are not relying on willpower or memory or a good mood. The transfer happens whether you feel motivated or exhausted, and that is exactly the point. A rule that runs on its own beats a goal you have to chase every month. Number 2, take every dollar of your employer match before anything else. If you have a 401k at work and your company offers to match your contributions, that match is the closest thing to free money you will ever be handed. A common setup is a 50% match on the first 6% of your pay, which means for every dollar you put in, your employer drops in 50 cents on top, instantly. That is a 50% return before your money has even been invested in anything. In 2026, you can put up to $24,500 into a 401k, but you do not need to get anywhere near that to win here. You just need to contribute enough to capture the entire match. Set your contribution percentage once inside your payroll portal, and from that moment on, the money is pulled from every check automatically, matched automatically, and invested automatically. Walking away from a match is walking away from a raise you already earned. Number 3, keep your emergency fund in a high-yield savings account, not a regular one. Right now, the average traditional savings account in America pays about 1/3 of 1%, which is basically nothing. Meanwhile, the best high-yield savings accounts in 2026 are paying around 4%, roughly 10 times as much, for the exact same deposited dollars and the same government protection. Your money is insured by the FDIC up to $250,000 per bank either way, so you are not taking on extra risk to earn more. You are simply refusing to leave money on the table. Move 3 to 6 months of expenses into one of these accounts and then let it sit. At 4%, a $10,000 emergency fund quietly earns you around $400 a year for doing absolutely nothing. That is a rule working for you in the background. Open the account once, transfer the money once, and it pays you every single month after that. Number 4, own the entire market instead of guessing at winners. You do not need to pick stocks, read earnings reports, or watch financial news to build real wealth. You just need to buy a low-cost index fund that holds a slice of hundreds of the largest companies at once and then keep buying it. Historically, the broad American stock market has returned about 10% a year on average before inflation, and around 7% after over the long run. That is not a promise for any single year, and some years will be ugly, but across decades that engine has done the heavy lifting for ordinary people with no special knowledge. A total market index fund or a target date fund does the diversifying for you, spreading your money across the whole economy so no single company can sink you. Set up an automatic monthly purchase inside your brokerage or retirement account, and you have turned investing into a chore that runs itself. like a bill that pays you instead of charging you. Number 5, invest the same amount every month and ignore the headlines. The fastest way to sabotage yourself is to try to time the market, buying when you feel confident and freezing when you feel scared. That instinct is almost always backwards. So take the decision away from yourself entirely. Pick a fixed amount, invest it on the same day every month, no matter what the market is doing, and let the schedule handle the timing. When prices are high, your money buys fewer shares, and when prices crash, your money buys more shares on sale, and it all evens out in your favor over time. This is called dollar cost averaging, and its real power is emotional. It means you never have to decide whether today is a good day to invest, because every day is just the day the transfer happens. A market crash stops feeling like a disaster and starts feeling like a discount. Automate the amount, lock in the date, and your calmest possible investing behavior becomes the default instead of something you have to force. Number 6, give every account one job and stop drowning in clutter. A lot of people have money scattered across 5 old checking accounts, 2 forgotten savings accounts, and a random app they signed up for years ago. That mess is not just annoying, it hides your real picture and makes automation almost impossible. Minimalist money means a clean setup you can hold in your head. You want one checking account for bills and spending, a single high-yield savings account for your emergency fund and short-term goals, and one brokerage or retirement account for the long term. That is usually all anyone needs. When the structure is this simple, money knows where to flow, and you can wire up automatic transfers between these accounts without ever getting confused about what lives where. Close the accounts you never use, roll old retirement plans from past jobs into one place, and let the simplicity itself become a tool. A system you actually understand is a system you will actually keep running. Number 7, put a waiting period between wanting something and buying it. Most overspending is not really about the money. It is about speed. You see something, you feel a spark, and 30 seconds later, it is in a cart and on its way to your door. So build in a delay that cools that spark down. For anything that is not a true need, give yourself a full day before you buy it, and for bigger purchases, stretch that to a week or even a month. Keep a simple running note on your phone of things you want and let them sit there. What you will find is that most of those cravings quietly fade, and the few that survive the wait are usually things you genuinely value. This one rule turns impulse spending into intentional spending without any budgeting spreadsheet at all. You are not forbidding yourself from anything. You are just adding time, and time does the filtering for you, sorting real desires from passing ones while you go about your day. Number 8, for every new thing that comes in, let one thing go. Every object you own carries a hidden ongoing cost that the price tag never shows you. It takes up space you pay rent or a mortgage on. It needs cleaning, storing, maintaining, and eventually replacing. And it quietly pulls at your attention every time you see it. So cap the accumulation with a simple rule. When a new pair of shoes comes in, an old pair goes out. When a new gadget arrives, an old one leaves. This keeps your total pile of possessions roughly flat instead of forever growing, which means your storage needs stay flat, your upkeep stays flat, and your spending naturally slows because you start feeling the true cost of adding one more thing. Minimalism is not about deprivation or empty rooms. It is about refusing to let your stuff silently expand until it needs a bigger home and a bigger paycheck to support it. One in, one out keeps that creep from ever starting. Number 9, buy fewer things, but buy them once. Cheap usually turns out to be the most expensive choice you can make because cheap things break, wear out, and get replaced again and again. The smarter math is cost per use. A $40 pair of boots that falls apart in one winter costs you $40 every year. A $200 pair built to last 10 years costs you $20 a year, and it feels better and works better the entire time. So when you do spend on quality for the things you use constantly, the mattress you sleep on for a third of your life, the shoes you walk in every day, the tools you reach for weekly. Buy them once, maintain them, and stop feeding the endless replacement cycle. This quietly changes your whole relationship with spending. Instead of a constant drip of small, cheap purchases that never fully satisfy, you make fewer, better decisions that lower your lifetime costs. Owning less of higher quality is one of the most underrated wealth habits there is. Number 10, audit your subscriptions once a year and cancel on site. Subscriptions are designed to be invisible. You sign up once, often for a free trial, and then a small charge slips out of your account every month for years, long after you stopped using the thing. Streaming services, apps, memberships, cloud storage, that fitness platform you use twice. Individually, they feel tiny, but stacked together, they often add up to hundreds of dollars a year, draining out silently. So once a year, sit down with your bank statement and read every recurring charge line by line. For each one, ask a blunt question. Did this actually earn its place in my life this year? If the answer is no, cancel it right then before you talk yourself out of it. You are not being cheap. You are reclaiming money that was leaving without your permission. And here is the quiet upgrade. Turn off automatic renewal wherever you can, so that keeping a service becomes a choice you make on purpose rather than a default that costs you by doing nothing. Number 11, automate your bills so late fees never touch you again. A late payment is one of the dumbest ways to lose money because you already had the cash. You simply missed a date. Beyond the fee itself, a single late payment can ding your credit score, which quietly makes every future loan, car payment, and mortgage more expensive for years. So take the human error out of it. Set every predictable bill to autopay, pulled automatically on time from your checking account. Your rent or mortgage, your utilities, your insurance, your phone, all of it running on rails. Then keep a small cushion in checking so a transfer never bounces. Once this is set up, you stop spending mental energy remembering due dates, you stop paying penalties for being busy, and you protect the credit score that decides how much interest you pay on everything else in your life. This is a rule that pays you twice, once by killing the fees, and again by keeping your borrowing costs low for decades. Number 12, treat your credit card like a debit card and never carry a balance. Credit cards are a fantastic tool right up until the moment you leave a balance on them. And then they turn into one of the fastest wealth destroyers in modern life. The average credit card in America right now charges around 21% interest, sitting near the highest level ever recorded. At that rate, a balance you carry can nearly double on its own if you only make minimum payments, quietly working against you every single day. So set one hard rule. Only ever charge what you can pay off in full and put your card on autopay for the full statement balance every month. Do that, and you get all the upside of a credit card, the rewards, the fraud protection, the credit history, while paying exactly zero in interest. The card is never the real problem. A balance you carry from month to month is. Automate the full payment, keep your spending inside what you actually have, and that 21% number never gets to touch your money. Number 13. If you qualify for a health savings account, treat it as a secret retirement account. If you are on a high deductible health plan, you can open a health savings account, and it is the only account in the entire tax code that hands you 3 tax breaks at once. Your contributions go in before tax, the money grows without being taxed, and withdrawals for medical costs come out completely tax-free. In 2026, You can put in up to $4,400 as an individual or $8,750 for a family. Unlike a flexible spending account, this money never expires. It rolls over year after year and stays yours forever. Here is the move most people miss. If you can afford to pay small medical bills out of pocket now, do that and let the health savings account sit invested and growing for decades. By retirement, it can become a powerful pool of money you built entirely on tax-free growth. Contribute automatically through payroll, and this quiet account works harder than almost anything else you own. If these rules are already changing how you think about your money, do one small thing for yourself and subscribe. Every week, I break down the simple, boring systems that quietly turn ordinary paychecks into real wealth, the kind of money habits nobody teaches you, but everybody needs. Now let us keep going, because the next few rules are where the real freedom starts. Number 14, take the standard deduction and stop overcomplicating your taxes. Every year, people burn hours and stress trying to itemize deductions, hunting for receipts and write-offs, when for the vast majority of Americans, it makes no difference at all. In 2026, the standard deduction is $16,100 if you are single and $32,200 if you are married filing jointly. That is a huge chunk of income the government simply lets you shield from tax with zero paperwork and zero effort. Around 9 out of 10 filers come out ahead just taking it. Unless you have a large mortgage, major medical bills, or big charitable giving, itemizing usually is not worth the headache. Minimalist money means spending your limited energy where it actually moves the needle, and for most people, taxes are a place to simplify rather than obsess. Take the standard deduction, file cleanly, and redirect all that saved effort toward the automatic systems that are actually building your wealth in the background. Number 15, fund a Roth individual retirement account automatically and let it grow tax-free. A Roth account is one of the best deals ordinary earners get. You put in money you have already paid tax on, and in exchange, everything it earns for the rest of your life comes out completely tax-free in retirement. Decades of growth, and the government never takes another cut. In 2026, you can contribute up to $7,500 a year, or $8,600 if you are 50 or older. There are income limits to know about. For single filers, the ability to contribute directly starts phasing out between $153,000 and $168,000 of income. If you earn under that, this is close to free money for your future self. Set up an automatic monthly transfer into the account, invest it in a simple index fund, and let time and tax-free compounding do the rest. Small automatic contributions in your 30s can become a fortune you never pay a dime of tax on later. Number 16, track one number instead of 50. Most budgeting systems fail because they ask you to track everything, every category, every coffee, every receipt, until you burn out and quit within a month. Minimalist money throws almost all of that out and watches a single number instead, your savings rate. That is simply the share of your income you keep and invest rather than spend. If you take home $4,000 a month and you save and invest $800 of it, your savings rate is 20%. That one number tells you almost everything about your financial future, because the higher it climbs, the faster you reach the point where work becomes optional. You do not need to know that you spent a certain amount on takeout last Tuesday. You need to know what share of your income is quietly buying your freedom. Check this number once a month, watch it slowly rise as your automatic rules do their work, and let it be the only scoreboard you care about. Simple to track means easy to keep. Number 17, save for irregular expenses before they arrive. The reason so many budgets explode has little to do with the everyday bills. The real damage comes from the predictable surprises. Think of the car repair, the holiday gifts, the annual insurance premium, the vet visit. These are not truly emergencies because you know they are coming. You just do not know the exact day. So handle them the calm way with what are often called sinking funds. Take your big irregular yearly costs, add them up, divide by 12, and set aside that amount automatically every month into a labeled savings bucket. Many high-yield savings accounts now let you create separate named pots inside one account for exactly this. When the car needs new tires or the holidays roll around, the money is already there waiting, and you feel nothing. No scramble, no credit card, no stress. You simply pay from the fund you have been quietly filling all year. This turns the expenses that usually wreck people into calm non-events because you did the saving slowly and automatically long before the bill ever showed up. Number 18. Every time you get a raise, save half of it automatically before you feel it. Lifestyle creep is the silent reason so many high earners still live paycheck to paycheck. Every time income goes up, spending quietly rises to match it, so no matter how much they make, there is never anything left over. You can shut this down with one move. The moment a raise or a bonus hits, immediately increase your automatic saving and investing by half of the new amount before it ever reaches your everyday spending. You still get to enjoy the other half and feel the reward of your hard work, so this never feels like punishment. But half of every raise you ever earn quietly gets routed toward your future instead of vanishing into a bigger lifestyle. Do this consistently over a career, and the results are staggering, because you are capturing your rising income at exactly the moment you would not have missed it anyway. Log into your payroll or your brokerage the same week the raise lands, bump the number up, and let it run. Number 19. Set your beneficiaries and keep a simple map of your money. This is the rule almost everyone ignores until it is too late. And it is one of the kindest things you can do for the people you love. Every retirement account and insurance policy you own lets you name a beneficiary, the person your money goes to, automatically if something happens to you. Named beneficiaries skip the slow, expensive court process entirely, which means your money reaches your family in weeks instead of years. So take one afternoon, log into each account, and make sure the right names are listed and up to date, especially after any big life change like a marriage, a divorce, or a new child. Then, write a single page that lists every account you have and where to find it, and tell one person you trust where that page lives. You are not planning to disappear. You are simply making sure that all the quiet wealth you built does not turn into a nightmare for the people left to sort it out. Minimal effort now, enormous peace of mind later. Number 20. Once your system is built, do almost nothing on purpose. This is the hardest rule for most people because it feels like you should always be doing more, tweaking, checking, reacting to every scary headline. But with money, constant action is usually the enemy. There is a well-known study from J.P. Morgan showing that the average investor earns dramatically less than the market itself, often only a few % a year. And the reason is simple. They panic and sell when things drop, then buy back in after things recover, locking in their losses again and again. The people who quietly win are the ones who set up good automatic rules and then leave them alone for years, even decades. So once your transfers are running, your bills are automated, and your investments are flowing in every month, your only real job is to not interfere. Let compounding do the boring, beautiful work in the background while you go live your actual life. That calm, hands-off approach only looks like laziness. In truth, it is the entire strategy finally paying off, wealth building itself while you rest. And that is the quiet secret behind people who always seem to have money and never seem stressed about it. They did not find some complicated trick. They built a handful of simple rules once, and then let those rules carry the weight for years while they slept, worked, and lived. Every single one of these 20 is something you can set up in an afternoon, and most of them run forever after that with almost no further effort from you. If you want to go deeper, the money lessons that schools somehow never bothered to teach us build directly on everything you just learned. And that is where I would head next. But before you go, I want to hear from you. Which of these 20 rules are you already doing without even realizing it? And which one are you going to set up first this week? Have any of these quietly changed your life, or is there a rule of your own that has saved you more than anything on this list? Tell me your story down in the comments. Share what you have learned, what you wish you had known 10 years ago, and where you are on your own money journey right now. I read them, and the truth is, the best money lessons in the world are the ones we teach each other.